So, welcome to another episode of Spiritual Warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Denzamas. You're welcome to the channel of Truth, Enlightenment, Freedom, and the channel of Breaking Empires Free. If you are new, on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality. I talk about personal and self-development. And if that's what resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Please give us a like, share the video, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back. And I thank you for your love and support. What a very long intro. So, guys, welcome again. Okay, hope everything is going as planned. Now, listen. There's a saying that they always said, "The birds of the same feather flock together." Okay, birds of the same feather flock together. Now, you see, when it comes to, and this video is going to be related to gang stalking. Now, when you're talking about gang stalking, you're working with a team of people, a team of bots. Okay, I want to say it as it is. It's a team of bots, unconscious. So you're going to have somebody who is pulling the strings, and then you're going to have the people on the ground. Sometimes it can be spiritual, sometimes gang stalking can be spiritual, it can be physical, it can be in person, different ways. Anything they can do to harass you and intimidate you and all those kind of things. Now you see when you do when you understand that you're dealing with bots, they have already lost their power. Just by you knowing that you're dealing with bots, they have already lost their power. So the only way they can have power over you is when you don't know who they are or what is going on. That is the only way they can control you and have power over you. Otherwise, you already know what it is, they have already lost. People are starting to come out and talk about gang stalking, and the stories are unbelievable. Okay. Now you see, I want to help you to understand gang stalking from a spiritual perspective. Did you guys know that there are some people who are sent on a mission, and even the ones that have sent them, they already know those people are going to fail. They do know that the mission will fail, but because you're dealing with bots, those bots, they don't ask anything. They're not able to sit down and figure out some things on their own, so they may not even know the consequences. They're going to go ahead and do that only for them to find out that the mission didn't work. So those people that sent them, they are going to arrest them. Do you know why they arrest them? And these things happen normally in this intelligence, whatever, those things which involve a lot of high profile, you know, missions and all those kind of things. So the reason why they arrest the bots, that is because the bots are going to blow the whistle. Okay? The bots are going to blow the whistle because they were sitting in the same office and they was discussing everything in a certain direction, and the bots was given a program. So these bots went to work and they failed. They are punished. From a spiritual perspective, we need to understand something. The devil knows who you are. The devil knows the consequences that come with messing around with you. They know in full detail. Is why they will never show their face. The ones who are actually assigning these gangstalkers, they are going to stay hidden behind the scenes. And you may even be surprised most of the time, they're going to be very, very high profile people. And you are going to realize that they are sending these people who know nothing about you to come around and harass you and do all these things to you. Now, the devil doesn't attack its own. This is a very powerful one. We are going to listen very closely. The devil does not attack its own, but it can punish its own when they fail on a mission. On any mission that they may want to do, it can be there will be a reward when they win, or there's going to be a punishment when they lose. The people that are moving around harassing you, they do not have an idea what they are dealing with. They have no idea what they are dealing with. It is until they are going to have to find out the hard way. They are going to have to find out the hard way because they realize the real reason why they shouldn't have messed with you in the first place. Okay? So in most of the times, when you see a person being gang stalked, they are going to go through a very long series of events, mental problems, mental health problems. They are going to be struggling with getting their shit together. They are throwing out of their houses because these gang stalkers normally they get very deep in your skin. They are going to go around to do everything they can do to make sure that you fail. So it involves hacking your bank accounts. They are going to hack your social media accounts. Who is following you? They are going to tap your phones. They are going to do everything to make it very, very uncomfortable for you. Is what exactly happens. And it's going to cause you to have a mental breakdown. So the people that are harassing you, they have no idea who you are. Because I've told you everything is spiritual. So these people you see harassing you, they do not have any idea. They do not know who you are. They think you are an ordinary person, but they don't have an idea who you are. And they're going to have to find out the hard way. Anybody that is involved in harassing, stalking, doing horrible things to you, they're working for the devil. They don't know it, but they're working with Satan himself. Okay? Because you see, in every mission, the devil will never show their face. In any mission whatsoever, that the devil will send its agents, they will never show their face. You can have, for example, these bots, who may also be just another team of narcissists. They can go together and work together for a similar goal. So they're going to have people working with them. There are people who are packed. You can imagine somebody will park in the whole day. You know, they even have this money to put into this program. Somebody will park somewhere in the whole day with their cameras ready to take some pictures, gang stalking and trying to find out what you're doing. So you're going to have those people. And they're going to be reporting back to someone. Sometimes it can be a situation whereby they need a lot of networks. So there are going to be so many of them moving around in patterns so that they can get information for their so-called boss who is paying them. When the karma is coming for these people, the karma is not going to spare anyone. It is not important who was the flying monkey, who was working behind the scenes, who knew or who didn't know. The karma is going to sweep everybody. The people that are being stalked, you see those people that are being gang stalked. There's a reason as to why those people are being gang stalked. Jesus was gang stalked. You know? Jesus was gang stalked. That man who betrayed Jesus, the Judas. Judas was the snake in his team. Do you know what happened to Judas? You know the Bible doesn't tell you these spiritual facts and spiritual whatever behind the scenes. Do you actually know what happened to Judas? Judas was eaten by the dogs. But by the time of his death, I'm sure that I remember that story. So if I'm making a mistake, please correct me, okay? I'm not a god to know whatever, to remember all those things. But what I remember that he was eaten by dogs. If there was a story that I missed, let us know in the comment section below. Let us fill us in. But what I'm trying to say is that Judas wasn't spared. So he was sitting down with Jesus, getting information from him. Jesus was gang stalked by a lot of people who was working at in the palaces at the time, and the people who ordered Judas's execution, persecution, and eventual execution. Those are the kings of the time. Why were the kings afraid of Jesus? The kings was afraid of a man who was wearing sandals, probably made out of rubber, and he spent his time with fishermen. These were guys who was living in palaces. They had a lot of power, but their souls was corrupt to the degree that they realized there was somebody who was very powerful spiritually, divinely anointed, and that threatened their power. So for the most part of the time Jesus was moving around, he had a lot of spies who used to come around, and they used to go back to report, oh, this is what he did today. The other day he raised the dead. The other day he fed 5,000 people with one loaf of bread and 2 fish and whatever. So those people, they used to come around and hang around Jesus, and they always went back to report to their master, to go back and take back information. So the master would know, okay, so that is what happened to them. So the master kept on, until eventually there was a Judas inside of Jesus' circle who betrayed Jesus. Okay? Judas denied Jesus. He betrayed Jesus and eventually denied that he knew Jesus when they was hunting for the people that used to follow Jesus. So there are some of the Bible stories that I used to like listening, back in the days. But this whole thing of gangstalking is spiritual, okay? But I would like to promise you, and I will tell you something that you need to understand. Anybody that has been in your vicinity and they have been participating in gangstalking you, causing you all these mental problems and mental health issues, they will pay the price. They don't know, and they don't have to know that, but they're going to pay the price for running up and down messing with you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When you start walking back in time and you see the people that have lost pretty much everything because of that, because of what they did to you, it's unbelievable. Some of the people, and let me tell you, this is where it gets very funny. Some of the people didn't even actively participate in messing with you. They was working behind the scenes. Some of them were just spies, like the Judas. There were spies that was working behind the scenes. There was the Judas who was working slowly. They come around, get information from you, monitoring spirits. Some of them was even just monitoring spirits. Everybody, when their time came, there was no book that wasn't left unturned. Because one of the things that people don't realize is when you're being sent on these very bogus and evil missions, what their masters will not tell them is that there's going to be consequences. Okay, is what I've told you, that when you make when you make a deal with the devil, you're not sure what you're signing up for. So they Their masters will not tell them that there's going to be consequences. They will tell them, well, you know what, I have money, so I'll pay your rent and go sneak up on the neighbor, go and get information on this one, tap their phones and do this and do that. So they're going to tell them a lot of things and they're going to give them money. But they never will tell them that there's going to be consequences. It is just going to be a matter of time until you are going to see a gang stalker who is losing family, they are losing pets, they are losing their health, they're in hospital. They don't even know what hit them, you know. They chose to do the devil's work, but the devil did not tell them there is consequences. They are going to work together with the devil and they will get all this money, but they wasn't told there's a price. It's only until their mission has been, maybe they thought that their mission apparently was done, was finished, and now that's when they see they have lost their job, because now the devil is cleaning up the closet, you know. The devil is cleaning up the closet. They have been fired from work because there was a witness. Something what they did was involving somebody, and that somebody now is cleaning the closet. So that's when now they are starting to see they have lost their jobs, they have lost something here, their car break down, and this and that, and everything around them is breaking down, because now they're realizing that they are paying a price for getting involved in very bogus gang stalking missions. So a lot of people have been gang stalking you in whichever way they have done it, whether they was in the law enforcement, whether they was in medical fields, because those people, they're everywhere. They can gang stalk you using uh, any tool they have, whether it's phone hackers, whether it's internet hackers, whether it is they have tried to do those things to me, send me all these links, oh, this and this and this. Then they send the link, and they really think I'm too stupid. Then I'm going to open those links. So they do all those things to harass you. But the thing is, awareness is very, very powerful. You see, there's nothing that is powerful than you knowing the truth, because you're already ahead of these people, these bots. Okay? I know one of them bots who sent me a message and told me that, you are using my music for copyrights. They said something about copyright, that I was using their songs. I was using their songs in my videos. I told them, okay, I'll be very happy to show me how many videos and which videos did I use the songs and which songs exactly. And then they went quiet. And then in that email, there was a link, because they were hoping that I'm going to open the link so that they can hack into my equipments and everything, because that's what hackers do. So the gang stalkers, what they have not been told is what I'm trying to say. They have not been told that there's a price, and the price they are about to pay is going to be a very difficult one. In some case scenarios, the price may also include their own lives. So they may have to pay with their own lives, the same way that Judas did, The people that are stalking you, they are afraid of your power, right? They are afraid of your power, and they are afraid of what you represent. They know that you represent divine spirit. You are anointed. And now it's making them doubt themselves, because now they're looking at themselves and they are thinking that this person is different. So why are we like this? We think that we have too much power, but look at this guy over there. He probably doesn't even own a car. So I've had cases of gang stalking, but for me, I think initially, it took me a little bit of time to realize what was going on. Okay, there had been some patterns that I started recognizing, but I would later on figure out that, oh, so now it's making sense. I now see what is happening. So it can be hard sometimes to understand. It was hard for me to understand gang stalking, but when I started understanding it, I added up everything. Everything made sense. So gang stalking is spiritual warfare, ladies and gentlemen. But your gang stalkers were not told. The only thing they was not told, on top of the phones, the equipment, the cameras, the flats they help them to rent, just because they rent somewhere near your vicinity and they are paying their rent. The only thing they wasn't told, on top of the privileges and the benefits, they was not told that there's also a price to pay. Okay, so that is something that is not. It has nothing to do with you. The only thing you can be and you can ever do is go out there, stay and walk in your true authentic self. It is your authenticity that they are scared of. Gang stalkings are demons in disguise. They have so much to hide. They could have been fooling around for generations, and now they are seeing this authentic soul and they do not know what to do with you. Okay? They do not know what to do with you because for the very first time they are coming into contact with a spirit that they cannot recognize. It is very frustrating for them and very intimidating at the same time, and they do not know what to do with you. Okay? So the gang stalkers out there, keep your head up. It all circles back to these bots and the demons. Don't worry about it. You do not have to struggle too much and get very serious with it. It's demonic warfare, it's spiritual warfare. It has nothing and it has never had anything to do with you. Okay? Wake up, get out there, be your truest authentic self, and whatever is meant to find you will find you at the right time. Let us know what you think about the video. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. I always figured with that thing at the end. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.